Sri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. Sri Sadguru Paramatmane Namaha. Sarva Maharshibhyo Namaha. Realization of Brahman and the consummation of knowledge are stated. 51st Shloka. Buddhya Vishuddhaya Yukto Dhrutyatmanam Vinayamya cha Shabdadin Vishayans Tyaktva Ragadvesho Vyatasya cha. 52nd Shloka. Vivikta Sevi Lagvashi Yatavakkaya Manasaha Dhyana Yoga Paro Nityam Vairagyam Samupashritaha. 53rd Shloka. Ahankaram Balam Darpam Kamam Krodam Parigraham Vimuchya Nirmamaha Shanto Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. Substance. Endowed with pure understanding, firmly controlling oneself, turning away from sound and other sense objects, and abandoning attraction and hatred, dwelling in solitude, eating but little, speech, body and mind subdued, always engaged in meditation, taking refuge in dispassion, having abandoned egotism, violence, arrogance, desire, anger, greed, free from the notion of I and mine, ever in peace, he is fit to realize Brahman. Commentary. It is said that these three verses contain the essence of the Gita. All that is required for man to attain the highest realization is stated here. The method and the means also the goal is declared here. As the goal is no less than Brahma Sakshatkara, the aspiring soul should cultivate every one of these virtues slowly and gradually and climb the highest peak of spiritual illumination. Vishuddhaya. Purity should be perfect, that is, not a speck of worldly dust should cover the mind. Certainly, when the mirror is cleaned well, the reflection is clear. Dhrutya. Firmness of self control is essential. It is not easy to curb the disturbances of the mind. Courage and steadfastness and iron will are needed to subdue the mind. Atma is not attained by the weak and the lazy. The courageous, dhiraha, alone can obtain the vision of Brahman. Atmanam niyamya. Control of mind and senses is the very basis of spiritual knowledge. There is no other way to liberation except through victory over the distractions of the mind and attractions of the senses. That is why it is clearly stated, give up the sense objects, shabdadin vishayamastikva. The outgoing mind should be drawn within to look into the innermost regions of the heart and remain settled in the contemplation of the self. Vivikta Sevi. The aspirant should live in the atmosphere of solitude. The place may be in one's own home if he is a householder. A small apartment should be chosen where he can carry on his sadhana uninterrupted. The crowded place full of noises is uncongenial for peaceful contemplation in the early stages of spiritual life. Hence, dwelling in solitude is mentioned here. Lagvashi. Moderation in food is essential for a spiritual practice. Overeating or too much fasting are both undesirable for the health of the body as well as the mind. Agreeable food in moderate quantity should be the rule. Food not only sustains the body but also controls the quality of the mind. In the previous discourse, the threefold types of food are clearly explained. The seeker should cultivate a sattvic mind, and for that purpose he should adopt sattvic type of nourishment. These three verses being the very essence of the Gita, we can understand the degree of importance attached to the physical nourishment in the scheme of spiritual progress. Yata Vakkaya Manasaha. Control of speech, body, and mind is another essential quality of the spiritual seeker. By devotion and discrimination, he should bring under control the entire physical body, the whole of the mental organism, and the organ of speech. which can cause mental destruction if left unchecked. Dhyana, dhyana yaga paronityam. Continuous meditation on the self is necessary for the highest realization. By systematic practice, such continuity of meditation can be acquired. In the beginning, the seeker is likely to allow the mind freely in the sense world after a bit of concentration and meditation. Thus, the effect of the former is neutralized by the latter. So, incessant practice is necessary. Even when he is working in the world, he should try to retain the calm and peaceful and sattvic atmosphere of the meditation state. Vairagyam samupashritaha. The word samupashritaha shows the firmness of dispassion that should be practiced by the seeker. Lukewarm dispassion is easily overwhelmed by sense attractions. Shankara says in the Viveka Chudamani, the aspiring soul of weak dispassion who tries to cross the ocean of samsara is held by the neck and turned back by the sea monster of worldly temptations and sensual desires. Balam. Here the word implies animal strength and violence, the asuric force of the Rakshasas, arising from the egotic conscience of one's own superiority over others. The strength used for divine purpose is good. Expenditure of energy for unwholesome ends obstinately held should be abandoned. Kamam Krodham. These twin words occur several times in the Gita. They are mortal enemies of man. They function together. Kama is the origin of Krodha. Kamat Krodho Vijayate. These two evils should be destroyed, root and branch. Parigraham, that is, receiving gifts from others. The essential necessities of life got from charitable people may be accepted to sustain life. To seek far more is greed and covetousness. Not only does the receiver burdens himself with the bad karma of the giver, but he also yields to the temptations of worldly pleasure by the acquisition of the enjoyable things. So, this evil should be given up along with the other evils mentioned in that line. Ahankaram balam vimuchya, complete rejection of all evils mentioned is implied. Brahma bhuyaya kalpate, the aspirant becomes fit to realize Brahma when he acquires the virtues and abandons the evils mentioned in the three verses. Question. What is the way to Brahma Sakshatkara? How should the aspirant act? Answer. He should purify the understanding. He should firmly control the mind. He should abandon all sense objects which draw the mind out into the material world. He should give up attraction and hatred. He should dwell in solitude. His diet should be moderate. He should keep his speech, body, and mind under his control. He should practice meditation continuously. He should possess intense dispassion. He should abandon egoism, violence, arrogance, desire, hatred, and covetousness. He should give up the sense of I and mine. He should possess peace. Question. How should man control the senses? Answer. With firm will and courage. Answer. Who is fit for Brahmagnana? Answer. He who possesses the above mentioned qualities is fit for Brahmagnana. The conduct of the Brahmagnana is explained. 54th Shloka. Brahma bhutah prasannatma na sochati na kankshati samah sarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim labhate param. Substance. Becoming Brahman, serene minded, neither grieving nor desiring the same to all beings, he obtains supreme devotion to me. Commentary. The serene minded man of knowledge has nothing to seek for nor grieve for. He is the same to all beings, that is, he does not see any distinction of high and low among the beings of the universe. Angels, men, animals, the creeping and the crawling beings all have the same significance from the standpoint of the highest. No, na sochati, na kankshati. When it is known that the phenomenal universe is created in Atma by the power of Maya, when the whole universe is seen as only one infinitesimal part of the Atma. What can any man desire for what? And for what does he grieve? Yasmin sarvani bhutani atma atmaiva bhut vijanataha tatra ko mohaha kaha sokaha ekatva manupasyataha. Ishavasya Upanishad. Samas Sarveshu Bhuteshu. Love for all beings is the mark of the sage or a knower of Brahman. He is equal minded towards all beings because he sees the self everywhere without any exception whatsoever. Therefore, self realization and universal love go together. When one is acquired, the other is there spontaneously. That is why the Lord declares that the noble soul of self realization acts with deep compassion for all beings. Madbhaktim labhate param. This is the basic truth regarding Gnana and Bhakti. The ultimate realization through the Bhakti Marga and Gnana Marga is the same. That is why the Lord here states that the knower of the Brahman attains the supreme devotion to him. Bhakti is of two kinds according to the degree of its intensity. Ordinary, Samanya Bhakti, supreme, Para Bhakti. The second is the same as the highest state of Brahmagnana. Shankara defines Bhakti in the following terms. Swaswarupanu sadhanam sandhanam bhaktiritya. According to this definition, the ceaseless contemplation of Atma is devotion. Therefore, though no real difference can be maintained between the devotion and knowledge, moreover, it is said that the man of highest self-realization is full of deepest devotion to the Lord. In Prahlada, we find the embodiment of Gnana and Bhakti harmonized in the highest state. Question. What is the nature of Brahmagnani? Answer. He is pure and serene-minded. He neither grieves nor desires. He has the same outlook towards himself and all beings. Question. What does the sage obtain? Answer. He obtains single-minded devotion to the Lord.